Hello and welcome to a podcast series by Leaders Edge called Falling Into It. This is a podcast where young professionals share their stories and thoughts on the insurance industry as they continue to grow their careers. My name is Zach Ewell, and I am a content and marketing associate here at the Council of Insurance Agents and Brokers, and a contributing writer to Leaders Edge magazine. In this episode of Falling Into It, we meet Eyad Kabbani, a 26-year-old assistant vice president who works in the Cyber and E&O Center of Excellence at Marsh. A graduate from Fox School of Business and Management at Temple University, Kabbani studied risk management and insurance. We discuss what it was like studying insurance in school, how he pivoted to assisting his clients during the pandemic, and how growing up in a small business family impacted his work ethic and experience. Eyad, thank you for joining me today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So let's jump into my first question. What was it about Temple University's risk management and insurance program that made you envision a future working at an insurance brokerage firm?
It's a great question. So in the risk management program and most risk management programs, they teach you a lot about different topics, right? And different parts of the insurance industry. They don't really make you an expert in anything or pretty much teach you how to do any job per se, right? What they do is teach you broader topics and help you kind of get a lay of the landscape and look at what the insurance industry actually does and what are the potential jobs there, whether it's underwriting, risk control, claims, brokerage, wholesale, right? Reinsurance, all the different parts of the business. What really kind of helped me solidify, what I want to be a broker is I looked at kind of the different parts of the industry and looked at what I like to do and what I felt like my strengths were. And it seemed to best align with brokerage, right? So I like working with clients. I like working with people and, negotiating and putting deals together in my mind was fun at the time. And so that's kind of how we ended up on the brokerage side of it. And conversely is I looked at what other positions did and what their pros and cons were. And some of them is I knew that's just not for me. I don't want to do that. Right. And so that's how we ended up landing at a brokerage firm.
Could you name some of the pros specifically about the insurance program?
The good thing about the program is it pretty much guarantees you a job, which is great. Right. But the other good thing is it really kind of paints the picture of what the insurance industry is like. And Temple specifically, and I know there's some other very, very good risk management programs, is they do a good job of bringing industry professionals in, right? And so you get to talk to those professionals and learn about what they do and really kind of have an understanding of what the different segments of the industry are before you graduate and before you start applying to jobs, right? When you're a senior and kind of the first semester of senior year comes in and you're looking for jobs, what a broker is, what a wholesaler is, what, a claims person does. And so I would say that those are the really good things that the program did. And really Philly is a very big insurance city. There's a lot of insurance people, a lot of insurance companies, a lot going on, and Temple as well as St. Joe's do a very good job of kind of helping you interact with the industry.
Now, you had an internship also. Who was it with again? You had an insurance brokerage internship, is that correct?
Yeah, so I interned with Kendall Johnson in Newtown, PA. There's a small kind of regional broker. I think they're a couple hundred people, but great firm, great people, and I really enjoyed it.
And so how did that impact your career goals, have that specific internship?
Yeah, so I mean, you don't really know what you want to do until you actually kind of get a taste of it, right? So I thought I wanted to be a broker, but obviously I had never been a broker prior to that internship. And I really didn't do much, broking per se when I was at the internship, but kind of that internship helped me solidify and really understand what a broker does, what the different, departments at a broker, what the different departments at an insurance broker do and kind of how you drive value for your clients. And it really helped me solidify yes, this is where I want to be and this is what I want to be doing. It was a great internship experience. So ended up, getting to spend time with claims, getting to spend time with loss control, getting to spend time with the producers, right? And truly understanding how does an insurance broker or risk professional, as they like to call it, drive value for their clients. And so it was a great internship.
You also grew up in a small business family. How did growing up working for your family's Mediterranean restaurant impact your future work ethic?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of, a lot of immigrants have, like a hard work ethic. And so the restaurant was actually pretty new. We opened it in 2015. So it was already freshman in college at the time. But we've had, other small businesses, 7-Elevens, gas stations, the whole nine. Kind of one thing when you grow up in a small family business, and anybody who did grow up in a small family business can attest to this, is you're always on, right? Meaning if someone doesn't show up, if you're an overnight guy or overnight girl doesn't show up, or the vendor is 2 hours late, like it's on you, right? You have to step up and take care of it, and the buck stops with you. If you're not going to do it, then nobody else is, right? So part of that really helped me appreciate kind of working hard and appreciate the value of a dollar, right? Like we work very hard. So it's like, you don't want to spend your money on stupid things that you find frivolous or don't enjoy. Right. So that work ethic has carried with me into the corporate world. Right. And it just helps me when I'm serving my clients. Right. It's like, talk about the 40-hour work week, but sometimes as a broker, especially when you're dealing with, high level clients and very, you need to be on. So part of that has really helped me throughout my career.
Now, I'd like to switch also now, jump to the corporate world that you just mentioned. I'm interested, how did you get involved in the cyber insurance field specifically?
Yeah. So, right now it's a bit of a hot topic. I was very, very fortunate. I was coming out of college. I got a job with Marsh into their track program. It's our 2-year kind of rotational program. That's our early graduate development program. And so I did a year in our financial lines department and then a year in our corporate middle market kind of life sciences department, and enjoyed both of those. Great people, right? Like when you work at a big firm, you're able to kind of look at different parts of the industry. And so long as you build a good reputation for yourself and network with people, you can kind of maneuver your way into different departments. But long story short, ended up kind of coming towards the end of the program, and I was about to graduate from the track program. And I had met my manager at the time a couple years ago, or my current manager a couple years prior to that, and kept in touch with her. And there was an opening in the cyber department, and I said, yes, please, I'm happy to join that team. And so was fortunate enough, right? And so it was kind of an opportunity that presented itself and took advantage of it. Now that's not to say if you don't get into a rotational program, like you start out in one job, you can make a jump, so long as, you network, you make a name for yourself, and you show that you're willing to work. I think you can make a lot of progress in your career in this industry, right? Just because you start somewhere doesn't mean you're stuck there.
So, how has COVID-19 changed your client relationships? How has the pandemic changed also the way in which you work?
Yeah. And that's a great question, right? And so kind of thinking about how I've been in now, I guess, 3 different positions in 3 years, essentially a little more than 3 years. You kind of look at, like, I have joined the cyber group, and I've never met any of my clients in person, right? So you've had to develop these relationships over phone calls, over emails, over Zooms, right? And so it's been a challenge, but it's also been good, right? Like some of these clients appreciate the ability to kind of pick up the phone and call you whenever. And I would say, how has the pandemic changed the way we work? I would say, being a broker, and part of this is because of the nature of the cyber market right now. It's a difficult market, right? I would say kind of you need to be there a little bit more for your clients and be overly communicative and kind of setting expectations and starting early is always important, but now more than ever, especially in this mobile environment and the difficult cyber market, we've had to do that a lot more and be very cognizant of it. Kind of being, willing to take a call at like 6:30 or 7 o'clock because one client's, in the Western side of the world, and then the other clients or the other party that needs to be on the call is, in Australia or whatever it is, right? So you had to be a little bit flexible now, especially with the remote work environment. But It's overall, I think it's been good. I mean, our firm has been able to deliver its best results ever in a mobile work environment. So I think it's been good.
What do you see as the next big step in your career?
This is a great question. I don't have a great answer for it, but I'm not entirely sure yet, right? I think
Okay.
I touched on this, and I think that's fine. I'm not necessarily thinking about the next step in my career. I'm just focusing on learning from those around me, and taking advantages of opportunities that are given to me, and working hard, and being the best that I can right now. And I think the opportunity will present itself, right? When the next big step comes, like it'll present itself. So that's,
Ab-
my perspective.
Absolutely. It sounds like, that saying, living in the moment. It sounds like you're working in the moment. So that's good. So I wanted to ask, do you have any out of work accomplishments that you're working towards, whether it be a hobby or activity that maybe something you picked up during the pandemic or not? It's fine if not, but
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Definitely. I wouldn't say an accomplishment, right?
uh-huh.
But
Yeah, yeah.
more so towards a hobby, right? I
Sure.
picked up skiing in the winter of last year. I snowboarded for the longest time, and then I picked up skiing. And the goal this winter is to get out on the mountain at least 25 days, right? And just enjoy it, and have as much fun as I possibly can, right? We work hard, and I try not to. I don't live to work. I try to work so that I can live. And so the goal here is, when kind of we get past 1-1 and have a little bit of time off and it slows down, is, get out on the mountain and enjoy as much of it as I can. So that's the goal this year.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Falling Into It. Please listen to more of our podcasts and content at leadersedge.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or SoundCloud. Till next time, I'm Zach Ewell. Have a good one.